Do you know that the first 60 minutes after you wake up are the most powerful minutes of your entire day? Those minutes decide whether your mind will work for you or against you. Most people open their eyes in the morning and immediately hand over control of their mind to the world, checking messages, scrolling through endless news, or replaying yesterday's problems in their head. And then they wonder why the rest of their day feels heavy, distracted, and stressful. But what if I told you that if you could master those first moments of the morning, you could master your thoughts, your focus, your emotions, and eventually your entire life? Your mind is like a wild horse in the morning. If you don't take the reins immediately, it will run wherever it wants, dragging you through worry, negativity, and confusion. But when you take charge early, you can train it to run toward peace, clarity, and purpose. These 9 early morning keys are not just routines. They are anchors for your mind. They are not about being busy. They are about being intentional. They are not about controlling the world. They are about controlling yourself in the world. And when you put them into practice, you will feel your mind becoming calmer, sharper, and more powerful day by day. So, don't just listen halfway, because every single key I'm about to share builds on the previous one. Miss one, and the chain is incomplete. But if you stay until the end, you will walk away with a complete toolkit to wake up every morning with peace, clarity, and unshakable mental strength. Your life is too valuable to start your mornings on autopilot. Let's unlock these 9 keys and start winning the day before it even begins. When you wake up in the morning, you are not just waking your body, you are waking your entire mind, your thoughts, and your emotional state. Those first few minutes are the foundation on which the rest of your day will be built. If you build it with intention, it will stand strong no matter what storms come your way. But if you start it carelessly, the smallest wind of stress, distraction, or negativity will shake it apart. Your morning is like the seed you plant each day, and the mindset you nurture in those early moments determines what kind of fruit you will harvest by the evening. Most people don't realize the power of those first moments. They wake up and instantly reach for their phone, absorbing news, opinions, and noise before their mind has even had the chance to take a deep breath. They are already reacting to the world instead of preparing to respond with wisdom. And because they allow the world to set the tone, they often carry that same tone for the rest of the day. If the first thing you see is bad news, you will carry a heaviness. If the first thing you think about is yesterday's mistake, you will carry guilt. If the first thing you focus on is a problem, you will carry stress. But if the first thing you focus on is gratitude, purpose, and clarity, you will carry strength. Your mind in the morning is like clay, soft, flexible, and ready to take shape. As the day goes on, that clay hardens into whatever form you molded it in those early hours. This is why intentional mornings are so important. You are not just deciding how to spend the morning, you are deciding how your mind will function all day. If you begin with calmness, you carry calmness. If you begin with focus, you carry focus. If you begin with kindness, you carry kindness. You cannot pour from an empty cup, so the morning is your time to fill it. Think about a ship setting out to sea. If the captain does not adjust the direction at the very start, even a small error will send the ship miles away from where it was supposed to go. Your morning is that starting point. A few degrees off in your mindset will eventually turn into frustration, wasted time, and missed opportunities by the end of the day. But a correct and intentional start will guide you toward peace, productivity, and purpose without you even having to force it. Some people say they are not morning people, as if that excuses them from starting the day right. But the truth is, your brain doesn't care if you feel like it or not. It still needs the right input to function well. Even if you feel tired, even if the bed is warm and the day looks long, the moment you choose to take control of your thoughts, your energy begins to change. You can speak life into your own morning. You can choose to start with a thought that lifts you instead of one that drags you down. That choice alone can transform the way your entire day unfolds. This is why discipline in the morning is not just about what you do. It's about what you allow yourself to think. If you allow thoughts of defeat, laziness, or self-pity to take root, they will grow stronger as the day goes on. But if you plant thoughts of gratitude, courage, and determination, those will grow instead. You cannot control every event that will happen today, but you can control how your mind meets those events. The morning is where you sharpen that tool. Even your body responds to the mental tone you set early. If you wake up with a sense of rush and chaos, your heart rate increases, your stress hormones spike, and your energy gets scattered. But if you wake up with stillness, gratitude, and a clear intention, your nervous system stays balanced, your breathing deepens, and your body works with your mind instead of against it. You begin to notice more, think more clearly, and act more wisely. When you understand that your morning is not just the beginning of a day, but the architect of your mindset, you stop treating it casually. You stop letting random events dictate it, and you start designing it like you would design the foundation of a building you want to last. And the beauty is, you don't need hours. You just need a few intentional minutes. A moment to breathe deeply. A moment to speak something uplifting. A moment to remember why you are alive and what you are building. These small investments pay massive returns throughout the day. Every day, you are given a gift, a blank canvas called morning. You can paint it with peace, gratitude, and purpose, or you can let it be splattered by whatever the world throws at you. The choice is yours, but the consequences will follow you for the next 12 to 16 hours. Master your morning, and you master your day. Master your day, and you master your life. It all begins the moment you open your eyes. It's easy to underestimate the power of small actions, especially in the morning. We often think that transformation requires a dramatic shift or a massive lifestyle overhaul, but in reality, the biggest changes come from the smallest, most consistent choices. Every morning is an opportunity to steer your mind in a better direction, and it doesn't require perfection, just intention. The first few things you do after waking might seem insignificant, but they are actually the building blocks of your mental state for the rest of the day. Imagine starting your morning by taking just 30 seconds to breathe deeply and center yourself. It doesn't sound like much, but that one choice sends a signal to your brain: I am in control. I choose calm over chaos. Or think about replacing the habit of checking your phone immediately with the habit of speaking one sentence of gratitude. Over time, these little actions accumulate, and their effect on your mindset becomes impossible to ignore. What seems small today becomes the invisible force that shapes how you think, how you react, and how you feel. The truth is, your brain is constantly being programmed, whether you are aware of it or not. The words you speak to yourself, the thoughts you allow in, and the actions you take in those early moments are all like seeds planted in fertile soil. A small seed may not look powerful, but given time and care, it grows into something far greater than itself. That's how mental transformation happens, one tiny, repeated choice at a time. You may not notice the change after one day, or even 1 week, but keep going and you'll find your thinking patterns shifting, your focus sharpening, and your emotional resilience strengthening. The morning is the perfect time for these small choices because your mind is fresh and unshaped by the events of the day. You have a rare opportunity to give it the right fuel before the noise of the world floods in. That's why it matters whether you choose to start your day with uplifting words or with complaints, with mindful movement or with scrolling through social media. One path builds you, the other drains you. And the beautiful part is, you get to decide which path to take every single morning. People often dismiss small habits because they don't produce immediate, dramatic results. But think about how water shapes stone, not by one powerful blow, but by consistent, gentle pressure over time. Your mind works the same way. If you repeatedly choose thoughts and actions that align with peace, purpose, and discipline, you are reshaping your mental patterns, even if you don't see the results right away. One day you look back and realize that you no longer react the same way to stress, that your focus comes more naturally, and that your inner dialogue is kinder and stronger. Small morning choices also create a sense of momentum. When you start the day with a win, no matter how small, it sets the tone for more wins. Something as simple as making your bed, drinking a glass of water, or speaking a positive affirmation to yourself can trigger a mental chain reaction. It sends a message to your brain. We are moving in the right direction. And the brain loves consistency. Once you start making good choices, it becomes easier to keep making them. Even science confirms that the first few actions of your day influence your brain chemistry. Positive habits in the morning can release dopamine and serotonin, improving your mood and motivation, while negative habits can spike cortisol and keep you in a state of stress. By choosing small, healthy actions early on, you are literally shaping the chemical environment your mind will operate in for hours to come. The challenge is to remember that small does not mean insignificant. The sip of water, the moment of silence, the 5 minutes of reading something uplifting, all of it matters. These are not just tasks, they are investments. They accumulate interest over time, and before you know it, they transform the way you think and live. The transformation you are looking for does not begin with a grand, impossible leap. It begins with the simple decision to use your mornings wisely. Choose 1 or 2 small actions that lift your mind and commit to them. Let them become a part of who you are. Over time, you'll see that it was never about making huge changes all at once. It was about making small, wise choices every morning until your mind was no longer the same. That is the quiet power of mornings, and it's available to you every single day. If you pay attention to the most fulfilled and focused people in life, you notice something they all have in common. They don't leave their mornings to chance. They understand that how you start determines how you continue, and how you continue determines how you finish. When you master your mornings, you are essentially setting the coordinates for the rest of your day, and when you string enough intentional days together, you are shaping the entire course of your life. The morning is not just a time slot. It is the control room where you decide how your mind, your energy, and your actions will operate. Every day begins with a choice to take control or to surrender control. If you wake up and instantly allow your environment, your phone, your worries, or your moods to dictate your next move, you are already living reactively. You are chasing the day instead of leading it. But if you wake up with a plan, a ritual, or even a few simple intentional actions, you are leading your mind instead of letting it wander. This leadership of self in the first hour becomes leadership of your entire day, and over time, leadership of your entire life. The reason mornings are such a powerful shortcut to mastering life is because they set the tone before distractions and demands can take over. Later in the day, you may be pulled in multiple directions: work, family, responsibilities. But in the morning, you have a window of control that is entirely yours. Use it well, and it will carry you through the chaos with clarity. Use it poorly, and you'll spend the rest of the day trying to catch up, often without success. When you train yourself to start strong, you begin to experience a subtle but powerful shift. You stop relying on motivation to act because you've built the discipline of doing what matters before the noise of the world reaches you. You start to realize that mornings are the launch pad for your mental state. And when you launch with intention, you fly higher and farther. This isn't just about being productive. It's about being grounded, focused, and aligned before you face the world. Small morning victories create a psychological ripple effect. If you wake up and stick to a morning practice, whether it's exercise, prayer, journaling, or deep breathing, you've already proven to yourself that you can keep a promise. This small act of integrity with yourself builds confidence, and confidence fuels momentum. Momentum then carries you into the rest of your day with a sense of control, and that control becomes a habit. Over time, this habit starts spilling into other areas of your life, and you realize that your mornings were the training ground for mastering your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. People often underestimate this truth because they believe life mastery is built in grand moments or big achievements. But it's not. Life mastery is built in the quiet, consistent, unseen choices you make every single morning. You don't become disciplined when you face a huge challenge. You become disciplined in the way you handle the small, daily moments before the challenge even arrives. And the morning gives you the perfect opportunity to train for those moments. There's also a spiritual and emotional dimension to mastering the morning. When you start your day in stillness, reflection, and gratitude, you align your heart with your higher purpose. You remember why you're here and what truly matters before the world tries to tell you otherwise. This alignment gives you strength to navigate challenges without losing your center. It keeps you from being tossed around by every problem because you've already anchored yourself in something deeper. Mastering your mornings also simplifies life. Instead of constantly reacting and making frantic decisions, you operate from a place of clarity. You've already decided what matters, and you've already invested in yourself before the demands begin. This means you start the day already ahead, not behind. Over weeks, months, and years, this consistency compounds into a completely different life. The shortcut to mastering life isn't about skipping the hard work. It's about putting the hard work in the right place. And the right place is at the start of your day, before anyone else gets a piece of your energy, before your mind is flooded with noise, and before life starts pulling you in every direction. The morning is your chance to take the driver's seat of your life every single day. And if you can win the morning, you'll find that you've already won more than half the battle of living with purpose, discipline, and peace.